A warm welcome to this session of Electrician Trade. In this session, we will learn about practice on repair and maintenance of circuit breaker. At the end of this session, you will be able to follow the shutdown procedure, refer to service and operating manuals of a given circuit breaker to identify the parts and their functions, refer to previous maintenance records for carrying out routine maintenance checks, locate the faulty part and replace it, follow the general maintenance procedure on the circuit breaker. Electrician tools kit and equipments required. Insulated cutting pliers 150 mm, screwdriver 150 mm, heavy duty screwdriver 300 mm, neon tester 150 mm 600 volts, DE spanner set of 9 5 mm to 20 mm, box spanner set 5 mm to 20 mm, Megger 500 volts, multimeter 20 kilo ohm per volt, cleaning brush round 2.5 cm, plumb bob with thread, spirit level 300 mm, flat file bastard 250 mm, circuit breaker of higher voltage and current rating, rubber or cork gasket as specified and required, sandpaper grade 0, grease, flexible cable 14 by 0.2 dash pot oil of specific grade, contact cleaner oil CRC 2-26, electro lube. Follow the shutdown procedure. Before taking up the maintenance work on any circuit breaker which is in operation, it is at most necessary to take permission from the engineer in charge. It is he who decides if any alternative arrangement is required to maintain supply to the consumer or a shutdown is to be effected. Permission for shutdown is given by the engineer in the approval forms. Follow all the instructions contained in the shutdown form before taking up the maintenance work on the circuit breaker. The concerned control switch of the circuit breaker should be switched off and logged and caution boards should be displayed in the control panel. The key should be kept in the custody of the engineer in charge. A caution board should also be displayed predominantly near the circuit breaker which is under maintenance. Caution boards: men at work, do not switch on, circuit breaker under maintenance, danger. Refer to service and operating manuals of a given circuit breaker to identify the parts and their functions. Collect the service and operating manuals of the circuit breaker and read them carefully. Refer to previous maintenance records for carrying out routine maintenance checks. Collect and read the maintenance record sheet of the circuit breaker. Read and record the nameplate details of the given circuit breaker. Off the incoming and outgoing bus bar and disconnect them from the circuit breaker. Remove the top covers of the circuit breaker by following the instruction given in the service manual. Identify the internal parts of the circuit breaker with the help of service manual. Check and trace the tripping circuits of the circuit breaker and then carefully inspect its parts for burnt, smell, discoloring. Check if the fittings of the circuit breaker becomes heavy. Check if the internal wiring cable of the circuit breaker becomes damaged. Interpolate your finding faults with the service maintenance record sheet. Locate the faulty part and replace it. Identify the faulty part as per service manual and obtain the same part from the stores. Check the working condition of the new obtained part and then replace it with the faulty part of the circuit breaker. Check the tightness of mounting bolts or studs and tighten them if necessary. Check verticality and horizontality of the circuit breaker with the help of plumb bob and spirit level respectively. Check the various contacts of circuit breaker such as stationary, fixed, arcing, intermediate and main contacts. Clean the contacts of circuit breaker for any deposit by oxidation with the help of steel wire brush or sandpaper of grade O and CTC solution. Check and verify the internal control wiring of circuit breaker with the help of manual. Check continuity of each wire of the circuit breaker with the help of continuity tester. If the internal wiring cables are damaged, replace them. Check for loose terminations and tighten them. Measure the trip resistance of coil and verify it with the standard value given in the manual. There should not be any change in coil resistance. Check and verify the free movement of tripping rod and armature of tripping releases. If the releases are found to be under friction, clean the relevant part thoroughly. Locate the faulty part. Troubleshooting chart. Excessive heat in oil. Poor dielectric strength. Heavy spark inside the tank in long duration. Type of fault. Oil level diminishing fast. Cause could be leak in the tank. The remedies are arrest the leak. Sludge deposit in bottom of the tank. Could be because of adulterated oil, very old filled. Remedies include no proper contacts in the bottom of the tank, filter the oil. Spark continuing in the electrode contact after making circuit. Causes could be conductor tip damaged, no proper contact, pressure spring defect. Remedies could be increasing oil temperature, leads to breakage of the tank, rectify spring or contact tip. Manual braking not functioning. Causes could be loading spring defect, loading mechanism defective. Remedies are no braking is possible, rectify. No tripping in fault condition. Causes could be defective tripping mechanism, defective tripping coil. Remedies include fault condition will continue. Damage the machine connected in line. Very loud noise in ACB while operation. Cause could be insufficient airflow, air pressure in chamber. Remedies include continuous vibration once it is operated. Maintain air pressure. Moving contacts broken. Cause could be excessive heat, excess spring tension, misalignment. Remedies include moving contact fail to make contact with fixed contact. Melting of electrode trip. Causes could be excessive current produced, heavy spark, substandard alloy metal. Spark quenching is extended beyond the set values. Remedies include check the source of excessive current, use standard alloy metal, maintain arc quenching medium in good condition. Intermittent tripping of breaker, wrong setting in relay, defective or faulty loading spring, faulty moving mechanism. Remedies include correct the setting, repair spring and loading mechanism. Shock in the breaker. Cause could be earth fault. Remedies include do proper earth connection. Regular maintenance record sheet. The regular maintenance record sheet of the circuit breaker. Recap. In this session, we have learnt how to follow the shutdown procedure. Refer to service and operating manuals of a given circuit breaker to identify the parts and their functions. Refer to previous maintenance records for carrying out routine maintenance checks. Locate the faulty part and replace it. Follow the general maintenance procedure on the circuit breaker. Hope you have understood all the concepts in this session. See you in the next session with a new concept. Thank you.